Hello, everyone. It's Comic Artist Pro Secrets. I'm Ethan Van Sciver, 27-year veteran of this crumbled comic book industry. World's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. I'm going to stay humble through all this as the world tries to humble me. As the world tries to humble me further, I will... why does my hat always look crooked? Is my head crooked? My head crooked? As the world tries to humble me further, as the world tries to bring me down, as the world tries to grind me into the dirt, I remain strong, I remain steadfast, I remain true, and yet I stay humble, but I still let these bitches know. World's most charming, elegant, eloquent, and yet humble man. Great big Star Wars fan and trusted member of the media. Hello, everyone. Hello. Edward McGrath, hi. Look at these new members in here. There's so many great members, so many terrific members that have joined this channel. They've joined the channel, and because they've joined the channel, good stuff is coming their way. Because they joined the channel, they are going to, not this card. They're going to be receiving this card right here, the Rumblebee trading card. This is Rumblebee, front and back. Finally corrected. I got everything fixed. Changed this to laser wings, strength, and there needed to be a space in between these two words. It looks good to me now. Now it looks good. This is headed off to print today. I was talking to Andrea in the car. I was like, I was going to make people wait for their Vespis cards until the book shipped, until Wreck Planet shipped. I would just include them in everyone's orders. I don't think I will. I think we're going to just, we've already ordered 5,000 of these cards. Let's just ship them out. And of course, we're shipping them out only to the people who joined our email notifications list. Card number R1, the Vespis, species Vespis vulgarix. Vespis vulgarix. Gyrix. They don't have, the Vespis only have one vowel, and that's a Y. And that Y has to substitute for other vowels. Okay? So it's Vespis vulgarix. That's kind of how to pronounce Vespis words. They can hibernate for thousands of years. They have paralyzing stingers. They have acidic saliva. They're highly intelligent and organized and utterly without pity for lower life forms. We've got a lot to learn from them. Most other worlds have quickly fallen to their dominion. Earth is just the latest. First appearance, Cyberfrog Blood Honey. Did you get a copy of Cyberfrog Blood Honey? I hope that you did. A lot of people are asking. We're selling through them like crazy. 93 copies sold on eBay. This is our eBay store here. 93 copies sold of Cyberfrog Blood Honey Team Up on eBay. I put up these as well. Like you can get a Team Up variant plus the Ashcan set. You can get just the Ashcan set if you missed that. We put all this stuff here. So nobody can say I missed the story and I can't read Wreck Planet because we put them here for you. It should be good. I'm going to broaden out the store a little bit more. I'm going to add some more things to it very soon. I'm told Tuesday I'm unloading the warehouse and bringing all of the contents, 2 pallets worth of Cyberfrog product. I don't even know what it is. 2 pallets worth of Cyberfrog product will be delivered to my house. I'm going to put it all down here in the basement. Now I'm going to put it up for sale. I'm going to sell it to you guys. A lot of people are saying, what about chromiums? I don't think I have too many of those, but sure, I'll sell whatever chromiums I have. I'm going to sell all this stuff to you guys. I think it's important that we do that. I think it's important that this stuff go from my hands to yours. I will make sure that my hands are sanitized and cleaned before I do that. Pam Boy's here. He says, hail Johnny Boy the Booty Man. I'd like to join you in that hail. I would like to say hail to, why don't I have a necklace on? What the hell? It's a rare day that I'm not wearing a chain. I feel positively naked. I feel naked right now. Spit this gum out, put it over here. Hello, everyone. Hello. Yeah, I'm not wearing a chain. Andrea. I don't think she can hear me. I think she might be outside. Yeah, I'm wearing my Alterna hat right now. My Alterna hat. Celebrating Alterna, saying, hey, yeah, I'm on Comicsgate side. I like that. I think people should buy more Alterna books because of that. I think that would be cool. While you're buying Alterna books, I'm waiting for more people to come in here. Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet. Wow. Zooming ahead. I did a video today. Whoa, holy shit. I did a video today about, the sad truth about what's going on with the comic book industry. My predictions, I think, I think at the end of my predictions, I yelled at comic book publishers for what they put retailers through. I'm firmly on the side of retailers, even though I don't use them. I'm not a part of the comic book industry, but I did make this video, and I put the ad in front of the video, and boom, that's all I need to do. I keep forgetting to make recorded videos, and in those recorded videos, actually put the ad, with Frankie Valli singing "The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine." That ad sells comics. So I got to do some more recorded videos and get that out there. When I did Cyberfrog Blood Honey, I put out recorded videos every single day, twice a day during the campaign. And every single video I made had the recorded Cyberfrog Blood Honey ad. And this ad is so much better. I really like the simplicity of the ad. I'm not talking in it. It's just music and images. It evokes a mood of sadness and fear that I really, really, really like. So I'll probably do some more videos, recorded videos, and then just put that ad there and see what happens. Vengeance of Vampirella, still for sale. And Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales, which, by the way, passed Lone Star. Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales passed Lone Star Heart of the Hero in funding. It's now, I don't know, what was it, the 15th, what is the 15th best-selling Indiegogo book of all time? Maybe better than that. I can't remember. But it passed Lone Star, and I think it's just behind Starblades right now in terms of funding numbers. We got 2,404 backers. This is an extraordinary performance. Everyone loves Cyberfrog. I don't know what to say. I can't think of any other reason for this to be happening except that everyone loves Cyberfrog. All right, so we got a bunch of people in here now. Lone Star, no. All right, so today I was going to go to sleep. Honestly, I'm really tired, but I've got this article. I made a video, like I said, and I've been talking a lot about the death of the comic book industry. Oh, I should take this down. No, Lone Star 2 is not shipped out yet. Talking a lot about the death of the comic book industry. And I went through some of these tweets that I posted. And look, all I'm doing, I may be rude, but I'm the truth. I don't mean to hurt anyone. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but I really do think people should be prepared, and blame should be assigned where blame exists, right? I mean, that's just reality. I mean, we do have to blame some people for this, some poor decision making for why the comic book industry has crumbled. Now, SJWs are still in denial about this. They really feel, SJWs, from what I can tell, believe that the smoke is going to clear, the dust is going to clear, and when it does, the comic book industry is going to be left standing. And better than ever, stronger than ever, they believe. I don't think that's true. Is Zach here? Is Zach in the chat right now? Does Zach want to come in or no? Because this subject is dear to Zach's heart as well. I can't tell if Zach is even here. Loneliness. Let me look here. I'll send Zach the link. Zach's having trouble lately. Rude dude with an attitude. Zach, I'll send you the link. If you want to come in, you can. I'd love to have you. It'll just be you and me because it's personal. This time they've gone too far, Zach. This time. Ethan and Zach. EVS and Zach. Getting revenge. Justice. Ethan and Zach taking justice on the comic book industry that abused them. Dun, dun, dun. All right, I sent him the link. If he wants to come in, he can. It would be great. So in any case, here's what I said. We're gonna go through what I said, and then you're gonna see the crying that followed this. And there was crying. There was great crying. I cannot understand why. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, Zach's answering me here. Sorry, can't. Okay, that's fine. Let me get rid of this. No, I got to keep that up. Okay, I got to keep that up. All right, so yeah. All right, sorry guys. Zach cannot make it today. He's busy doing something else. So here's what I said right here. This guy said, oh, first of all, we've got this dickhead here, Chris Sotomayor, and he is a dickhead. Look at him. Somebody says, hey, numbnuts, how many comic books are you selling today? Oh, wait, pencils down. Remember? This guy goes, sorry, I can't hear you over my Batman and Deadpool deadlines, pencil dick. Now, Chris had gone on before this to insult a bunch of people. He is an SJW. He's deeply involved in cancel culture. He's a part of this weird cult of colorists. I don't know why colorists in comics are so goddamn mean. They're actually mean. I'm sweet as sugar. These people are nasty and cruel and self-obsessed, self-important. To call a customer pencil dick, that's not nice. And I point out, look, this dude is a major cancel culture SJW piece of shit, just in case you're worried. He's involved with all the whisper networks. He conspires with SJWs to deplatform normal people. Bigger liar and anti-comicsgate douche there never was. I said, I want you to watch this guy this year. And this is the key to everything. Put the pencil down. Put it down. And this guy, he's innocent. He kind of said, look, this whole pencils down thing is hurting local comic shops. If they just continued working, just let these guys work, they'd be able to get ahead. So when all this blows over, they can stock local comic shops with the late and new, causing a huge financial surge when fans buy both. Now, of course, this is incredibly naive. It's not as though, first of all, Diamond cannot even afford at this point to pay Marvel and DC and Image and all the other companies, the vendors, for the books that they've sold for them. Can't do it. Marvel and DC don't really have any money to pay these creators to continue to work. And then Marvel and DC also probably have no way of distributing this multitude of comics to comic stores, because many comic stores are going to close down. I point out to them, this isn't going to just blow over. This is a disease. This is an illness that's going to last a long, long time until people find some kind of vaccine for it, something like that. This is going to... It's almost like, here's what I want you to expect. I treat you guys like grown-ups. I'm not Gail Simone. I don't want you guys to be kindergartners or 5-year-olds. Here's the reality. You ever have a plane delayed and they say your flight is going to be delayed 15 minutes? And you go, okay, 15 minutes, that's not so bad. And then they say it's going to be delayed another 15 minutes. And you say, oh, okay. Before you know it, your flight's been canceled and you're not getting on an airplane until the next day. That's what this is. I think that there's a sense of, well, we're going to reassess things in 2 weeks. We're going to reassess things in 4 weeks. We think we're going to get this nailed and tapped down in May. I don't think so. This is going to be a long process, a long process, and things are never going to be the same after this. You don't even realize how important and historic what we're going through actually is right now. People are going to remember the 2020s. Amazing me, and they're going to remember your boy Zach. They're going to remember John Malin, Cecil, Dan Fraga. They're going to remember Pete Samiti from Alterna. Wow, we're selling lots of comic books. They're going to remember all of us for what we did. They are not going to remember, Bleeding Cool or anything. Coronavirus. I said, yeah, but that's still 6 months to a year away, and a year's more likely. When the dust settles, there won't be a comic industry as we've known it. DC is going to fight this out with digital and bookstore distribution. Okay. So DC Comics has basically pulled a Brexit. Now I kind of I said in my video today, and it upset a lot of Brits. I said, yeah, DC betrayed the comic book industry. They pulled a Brexit on Diamond, and people said, Brexit is not a betrayal. I completely agree, but from Diamond's point of view, and from the retailer, the rest of the comic book industry, from their point of view, DC pulling out of this deal and saying, look, we're going to use Diamond's temporary, probably insolvency to null and void our agreement and go find other people to distribute our comics. That probably feels like a betrayal to them. But it is, in fact, DC just going, if you're on DC side, we're Brexiting it right the fuck out of here. And that's what they did. So DC's decided that they're going to go and find digital. They're going to go digital. Digital isn't going to work. Digital is 10% of the comic book market. All right. So digital is not going to pay. Digital wouldn't even pay to enough money to actually produce a comic book, much less. I mean, it wouldn't pay to actually pay the talent, much less pay the printing costs and bookstore distribution. So we're looking at Barnes and Noble. That means the floppy is going to basically go the way of the dodo. No more cat spankers. Bookstores are going to be interested in doing graphic novels, albums, trade paperbacks, things like that. That's where DC is going. They're like, we're not going to stop. We're not going to stop publishing. We're not going to pencils down. We're going to fight this because we have to, because Papa AT&T is currently looking at us and saying, are they worth it? Like, are they worth the trouble? They barely make us any money. It's a lot of manpower being wasted to make $0. Why don't we close them down? And DC is basically saying, no, don't close this down. We're an idea farm. We produce ideas for you to use for your streaming content. So the idea that DC has a choice and could take a little while off, could take a break, they can't take a break. AT&T will cut their throats. So despite all that, AT&T, in my opinion, this is my prediction, Nerdette Newsstand showed up and said, I'll bet you they don't. Well, okay, I'll bet you. AT&T will probably close their publishing arm by the end of this year. You bet. That's a bet. I will bet you that that's what happens by the end of the year. It just doesn't make sense. And DC's going to, they're still going to produce some comics. It's going to be a very rare thing. It's not going to be an active enterprise. They'll put out a few trades here and there. They'll put out comics now and then. But the idea of putting out 150 comics per month, that's gone. That is gone. Not going to happen ever again. All right. I said Diamond won't reopen. That's my opinion again. My prediction is Diamond is not going to reopen. Random House and Amazon will be used instead. So Random House is going to distribute DC Comics, I believe, in my opinion. And they are going to put DC Comics in bookstores and things like that. And then DC is also going to utilize Amazon to ship through, buy it here, mail order stuff. At least 20% of local comic shops will not reopen despite government bailouts. Now, this isn't meant to be cruel. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. This is just my prediction. This is what's going to happen. And when I say 20%, I mean more like 50% are not going to open despite government bailouts. These are small businesses that are living hand to mouth. They're going to close. Comics will become mail order and digital. Won't be able to support its own production. Okay, so that's a big deal. When your comics become mail order and digital, and it's still a big organization, it's not just me producing this stuff, it's a whole army of people, you cannot afford to pay the talent that you're paying them. Digital is not going to bring in enough money for that, and mail order won't either. Said very few pros will remain gainfully employed. Only the top. They're going to, most people. And when I say most people, I mean 80%. My guess is 80%. 80% of comic book professionals will be unemployed. People who are currently employed now, working on something, pencils down. These guys are going to be out of here. 20% will remain. They'll find something for them to do, if it's Target or Walmart comics, or just let's do some straight to graphic novel. Let's just do graphic novel books for the Barnes & Noble. Your boy Zach used to say, how small do USJWs want this industry to be? I hope this will be small enough for them. Zach used to say that when they'd be fighting and excluding people. Don't buy my comics if you don't agree with my politics. Zach would say, how small are you trying to make this industry? When you disenfranchise your customers and fans, what exactly is your intention? Your intention is to just shrink it, obviously. Which customers are okay for you? Which customers will you accept money from, you idiots? That is the question here. All right, so scrolling down some more. Wait a second. Do I want to scroll down? No, I want to go back. I want to go back. Let me pick my nose. I've been itchy lately. My nose itches. I'm worried that I've got the COVID. I don't. I said, all right. I mean, look, you've got the publisher of DC Comics, that's Jim Lee, drawing sketches to auction for charity, and that charity, no, it's not Jerry's Kids. It's not a hospital for children. It's nothing like that. It's comic book retailers. It's actual small businesses are being treated right now like charities. They're charity cases. These publishers pillaged publishers like DC, publishers like Marvel, pillaged these local comic shops with predatory publishing scams in order to keep their own numbers up. DC and Marvel started throwing all kinds of insane, unasked for variant covers for books that why would like Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 38 have 2 variant covers? Why? To double the numbers, to double the number of sales. That's the only reason. It doesn't deserve 2 variant covers. Nothing special is happening in it. And yet every single issue of everything that DC puts out has a variant cover now. It doesn't double the number of sales to the retailer, because certainly all you're doing is you're allowing the customer to come in and just pick the cover he likes best. But it doubles DC's numbers, and DC and Marvel are just all about like saying, hey, at the end of the year, we made $300 million. We sold less product for more money, and we made $300 million. How did the retailers do? Not that well. They didn't do as well as we did. Predatory publishing scams in order to keep their own numbers up. For example, buy 100 of these completely ordinary comics, okay? And when you do, we're going to include 1 lenticular variant cover. So if you want that 1 lenticular cover, okay, so it moves around, it looks like it's in 3D, you have to buy 100 copies that don't have a lenticular cover. And the question is, who wants to buy those? Who wants to buy an ordinary cover when there are lenticular covers? Customers want the lenticular one. So now you've got 100 unsellable comics on the shelf. And yeah, it's like, well, I want a lenticular. Oh, I got to buy another 100 copies if I'm going to get you. Fuck, all right, I'll buy another 100 copies. That's horrible. That's a horrible way to treat people that you are in business with. And that's how they see each other. They see each other as, they call each other business partners. Yeah, they're business partners the way Count Dracula is a business partner with whoever he's got his fangs in. Marvel and DC utterly destroyed the comics biz by launching, canceling, and relaunching series with new #1 issues, burying retailers with big events with dozens of worthless and unsellable tie-ins. Here's my new Secret Wars event, and we've got 35 different series that are branching off of the big event that you need to buy, but you don't really need to buy because they don't really even add anything to the story. But we've put Secret Wars tie-in on the cover, and now you feel like you have to buy it or you have to stock it. You got to keep it on the shelves, and it doesn't sell. It doesn't sell. It just lays there and stinks like dog crap on the sidewalk. It doesn't sell. I mean, these comics are just decomposing on retailer shelves right now. They let all right, yeah, and then the lenticular variant cover scams. They let SJWs run wild, insulting customers on social media, calling them pencil dick, and in the comics themselves, insulting people's belief systems. In the comics, you're reading Captain America, and Captain America is lecturing you You, American comic book reader, apparently you've disappointed Captain America because of who you voted for. You're now a Nazi. Report to the Gulag. Captain America is ashamed of you. How does it feel, said Andy Corey, to know that you guys have become, that comic fans have become the types of people that their favorite superheroes would punch in the face? I swear to God, he said that. There is nobody who's buying comic books. There is no comic book fan who should be punched in the face by Captain America. Not one. And why would you even say that? What kind of a-hole are you to say something like that? Type of a-hole that would hire Zoe Quinn and bring her to DC. That's who we're dealing with, people. These people here have killed the comic book industry. They've broken so many hearts. This frivolous hobby, comic book collecting and reading and enjoying, this is something that we've all been doing since childhood. I think many of us planned to do this until we died. We would always be buying and reading and enjoying our comic books. We can't anymore. They've been poisoned. They've been poisoned by these people. These publishers let SJWs run wild, insulting the customers on social media and in the comics themselves. The retailers never had a chance. And now the publishers are doing meager charity for their victims. These parasites. I said, this industry feasted well on victimized retailers for the past decade. The party is over now. Party's over. So that was my Twitter essay that I posted. And I think it was well received by many people, but some people were shocked by the brutal honesty of that. I was pointing the finger at the people who you'd expect me to point the finger at. Publishers, some of my fellow professionals. I'm ashamed to say. Some of my fellow professionals are unprofessional. I mean, grossly, grossly unprofessional. And frankly, I'm here to sell comics, and I feel like I'm the only one. I feel like I'm the only one who thinks it's possible and is proving it's possible to sell comic books in a down market. Everybody acts like, people act like this is something that's impossible to do, or they act like everybody's doing this. This is nothing new. Really? Go do it. Go do it then. Help yourselves. God, make this industry better. Make it better. All right. So today, after that essay this morning, I get hit with this from Bleeding Cool. Let me scroll up here. Ethan Van Sciver mean streak. Directed to creators and retailers alike. Here's me being mean. Now, this is basically Bleeding Cool. And I've been using their articles quite a bit to paint a pretty accurate picture of the state of the comic book industry. I've been using their articles because their articles are somewhat delusional. The truth is in there. The truth is buried in their articles somewhere. The message that they're sending out to people is incorrect. It's incorrect. So here's Bleeding Cool, Rich Johnson. Rich Johnson has in the past decided to, because one time I told somebody in an argument, I said, go kill yourself, loser. And I apologized for that. I said, I guess I have a mean streak. I guess I'm mean. I don't know why I would say something like that. Never apologize to social justice warriors. Again, never apologize, never admit guilt, never admit wrong to social justice warriors. They do not take apologies in the way that they are intended. These people have zero grace, zero grace, zero grace. Okay. Somebody apologizes to you because you're a normal person and you go, I forgive you. I can tell you mean it. I can tell you feel bad about what you did. I forgive you. Let's move on together. I forgot it too. I forgot it. No big deal. Because one time I said, I guess I have a mean streak. I don't know why I said that. This is what they hit me with forever now. Ethan Van Sciver's mean streak. Now I'm a meanie. I'm a full-time meanie because of this. Mean forever. My mean streak. Directed at creators and retailers alike. Now, I will say this. If I do have a mean streak, let me unfucking leash it right now. I intend to be cruel. I intend to be cruel to these people. Rich Johnson, I intend to be cruel to you. I intend to be cruel to all of these people who worked really, really hard, who organized themselves to try to make it so that my newborn daughter would starve and I wouldn't be able to work in comics again. I intend to strike you with great cruelty, and I will rejoice in doing so. I call myself Comic Skatus Caligula today. I will drink your blood. I will literally drink your blood right now. You people, as you monsters lay dying, I will kick you. If you were drowning, I would toss you an anvil. You are some of the worst human beings I've ever met in my life. And here you are asking me to pity you. Here you are asking for my empathy, asking me to sympathize. I sympathize with the retailers. The retailers are the only ones who've had it worse than people like me. I empathize with them. They've had to deal with your selfishness and your stupidity now for a decade. I've watched it happen. I've condemned it. Comicsgate has condemned it. We condemn you. And yeah, as you're suffering and as it starts to sink in that you've been buried alive and the oxygen's running out, we will laugh and we will be above you dancing a little jig. I will dance on the grave of all of these social justice warriors as they find themselves unemployed. And I hope you do too. These people deserve no pity. No pity whatsoever. Now, let's read some of this. Do we read this article? Oh, fucking, I mean, here we go, guys. This is it. This is the moment we were waiting for. After all of this stuff that we went through from 2017, even before that, 2016 to today. As we endured insults, taunts, as we were called Nazis, we were called bigots. We were told that we exist, that Comicsgate exists. All of our criticisms of the comic book industry that have led to this, all of the criticisms of the comic book industry that we leveled at the comic book industry that have led to retailers not having the resources to close their stores and stop accepting money from customers for the period of time that normal working people go to Florida with their families and have a vacation. They can't do it. They live hand to mouth because of the attitudes and the poor business practices of the publishers and the comic book professionals who serve them, who I guess consider these publishers to be their customers. I pity the retailers. I care. I have empathy for the retailers. I want to see the retailer survive, but I'm not going to lie about it. I don't think it looks good. I don't think it looks good right now. I've loved this industry. I've loved comics since I was 12 years old. And before that, before I even read one, I always had them. I read my first one when I was 12. I said I'd work in comics one day. I didn't think I'd live to see comics die, but it's 2020, All right. Some comic book publishers, says Rich Johnson, will not survive the effect of the coronavirus pandemic. Such a loss or reduction of income from the direct market and bookstores alike will see some not able to come back. While Marvel and DC Comics are still encouraging creators to keep on, as they were, smaller publishers are feeling the heat. There are comics They use other forms of distribution, those that rely on newsstand and subscription like Viz, Phoenix, Judge Dredd Magazine, and 2000 AD should be fine. Those with big bookstore sales like Scholastic will also still prosper. And those who use crowdfunding services like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Patreon. Patreon is not a crowdfunding service, really, is it? I guess it kind of is. Publishers like Iron Circus Comics, who monetize their subscriber base, should also survive. There will be less disposable income to go around, and everyone's situation is more unstable than it was. Both Aspen and Valiant have been confirmed as ceasing production and asking creators to stop working. Pencils down. Valiant, to at the end of July at the earliest. A lot of comic book creators, especially those outside the big two, will be losing their gigs. Is this time for Ethan Van Sciver to show a little empathy to his fellow creators of all stripes? No. I will show empathy. I'll show empathy to those who reached out to me, those people who cared, those people who said, hey, what's happening to you is wrong. But most people in the comic book industry, while this frivolous industry that I had given my life to decided to strip me of my reputation, spread lies about me, tell people that I had commanded boys, little kids, to kill themselves, that I am a Nazi sympathizer, that I wrote racist literature, that I am a racist. People who said that I have a problem with women. Maybe that's people who said that I'm a homophobe. I'm most certainly not. Those people I have no empathy for them. I have no empathy. I show them the same empathy they showed me and my family. I show them the same empathy as I do nothing to help them that they showed me as they attempted to destroy me. That same empathy. I show them no pity. Absolutely zero pity. Ethan Van Sciver lashes out again. This is me laughing at G. Willow Wilson, who I think coined the pencils down hashtag. Just got the first of the dreaded pencils down emails. I imagine there will be more. It was inevitable after store closures and Diamond announcement, sending all my love to comics people, artists, writers, retailers, editors, and last fans. This really sucks, she says. Kate Leth as well. Where's Kate Leth's remark? How come I can't see it there? Yep, got one last night. My sympathies. These two bullies. These two absolute bullies. All right. Down goes G. Willow. Down goes Kate Leth, I say. And I still do say. Erica Henderson says, imagine thinking we get into comics for money or acclaim. These guys, these two ladies laughing at how neither of them intended to make money in this profession. It's no wonder. We have a lot of people around us with just defeatist attitudes. People are depending on you. You guys are producers. You two individuals are producers. You set out to work in comic books, to produce comic books on behalf of major corporations in order to create sellable product for comic book retailers. And these comic book retailers have to close down now. Get the fuck out. If you were never doing this to make a great living, you're part of the reason comic shops can't weather 2 weeks of closed doors, let alone the upcoming, it's going to be more like 6 months. It's going to be crazy. And they'll open their doors for a while, and then they're going to realize that they're going to have to close their doors again. This industry is a joke. It's filled with pretentious, parasitic clowns that produce nothing but conflict and echo chambers. Well said. Whoever said that well. Oh, that was me. That was me that said that. Well said. A message that some endorse, but not everyone is on board with. Van Sciver has talked about having a mean streak. Once, I'm a very humble man. When I make a mistake, I accept my own faults. When I'm wrong about something, when I do something that is uncalled for, I say, yeah, that was mean of me. I'm a nice guy. I'm a very nice fellow. Other creators have stated it is this attribute when targeted at their colleagues, which turned them against Ethan Van Sciver. And it does seem to be full in play this week. Yes. There are also creators like Mike Smiller, who previously were Comicsgate ho, but then decided better of it, who also feel his ridicule. Poor Mike. I love it. I love that Rich Johnson is using Mike. Rich, you destroyed Mike. You destroyed Mike in so many articles. You destroyed him. I had to stand up for Mike several times because of some of the articles that you were writing about him. Dreadful, cruel articles about Mike that attempted to destroy his life. You attempted to destroy Mike's life so many times with Bleeding Cool. And I stepped in and defended him. I just stopped defending him. At some point, I'm just kind of like, yeah, he's kind of a dick. You know, I mean, how many more times can you help a guy out while he's stabbing you in the back every chance he gets and he hates you? I just kind of said, I can't do this for Mike anymore. And it was sad. It was a real hard thing for me. I hate doing that. I don't lose friends easily. I don't give up on them easily. I don't like it. I didn't like doing it with Mike. I just begged him to not do this. Don't do this, Mike. Don't do this. But pride is a son of a bitch, and pride is a sin. Pride is definitely a sin. Pride, when it's something like being unable to admit your faults, which obviously I am able to do. Look, I have a mean streak, I say. I'm able to admit my faults. Some people can't do that. That's pride, and that's a sad thing. We all miss Mike, don't we? Chat, if you miss Mike, can I have a 1 in the chat? 1 in the chat if you miss Mike S. Miller and you wish that he was still Comicsgate ho. If Mike S. Miller were still a Comicsgate ho, would you miss him? Just give me a 1 in the chat if that's true. No, he's not Mike is not a Comicsgate ho. Most people are putting zeros in the chat. Yes. Comicsgate ho. All right. So Mike is also going to feel my ridicule, and he will for a long time. That is one thing that is true in this article. Mike will feel my ridicule for an awful long time. And I say here, here's Mike picking on Adam Post. Adam Post, who is doing College of the Dead. He says, Mike and Edwin keep persecuting me. He tweeted this out. Mike is saying, look, if Ethan gets to 5,000 backers, I'll be shocked. You will? Let me see this here. I got 36. Let me see. I got 3,648. I'm sorry, 3,650. Whoa, we hit 433. I got 3,652 backers. I got 13 days to go, and those last 2 days are going to be a bear. You're going to see a lot of cool stuff happen in those last 2 days. And then I refresh it and do it for another month. So I think I'm going to hit 5,000 backers. I think I will, Mike. Don't you worry about me. And if I don't, then I'll be like, Mike was right. Mike was right all along. Links in the chat, guys, if you want to back, or links in the description, if you want to back Cyberfrog Wreck Planet, now's a great time to do so when everybody is watching. All right. So, this guy's making fun of, he's like, Cecil has barely broken 2,000. With all the spite and promotion of Adam Post for the last 11 months, he's barely broken 200 backers on either campaign. Just making fun of Adam Post. It's like, why are you making fun of Adam Post? Adam Post didn't do anything. And I mean, all this can amount to is like, why is Mike still thinking about this? Why is Mike still talking about Comicsgate? It's okay if Mike is still talking about me, but why pick on Adam Post? And I just said, Mike will spend the rest of his life trying to convince himself and others that burning his bridges with Comicsgate wasn't what made him homeless. If other comics on Kickstarter can get to 6 figures without CG, why can't you, Mike? Two devastating body blows. Absolutely true. A lot of people hitting 1. A lot of people hitting 1 in the chat. They miss. Sci-Fi Snob says, if Ethan gets to 10 billion backers, I'll be shocked. I will too. I don't expect that. I do not expect to get to 10 billion. But I'll do pretty good anyway. All right. So we continue on here. And for comic book retailers in trouble, Fearing imminent collapse of the direct market, there's little sympathy from Ethan Van Sciver there either. That's not true. I said, bless the comic book retailers. What does this guy say? Hold on a second. That being said, I think Van Sciver isn't seeing the big picture that recent developments could hurt the comic industry in general, even self-promoting creators like him, because this is mainly hurting comic retailers more than companies, but I feel he's too stubborn to get that. See, the guy who wrote this thinks that we depend on comic book retailers. Ava's up there dancing. I don't know if you can hear her. This guy thinks that we depend on comic book retailers, and we just don't. Our model doesn't include comic book retailers. We're entirely independent. So I said, bless the comic retailers, but you don't understand why Comicsgate is so durable in this crisis. We don't need retailers to sell our comics. We sell straight to customers and ship them ourselves. 1 or 2 oversized books per year fulfilled by USPS, we will survive. Am I being cruel to retailers there? I don't think so. We don't use retailers. We also don't use Barnes & Noble. How do you like that? We also don't use Scholastic Books. How do you like that? We just don't do that. It's not like we won't someday, possibly, but we're not doing it now. It has nothing to do with us, and this current crisis isn't really going to affect Comicsgate at all, except insofar as people might decide that they want to spend less money on comic books. I don't think they will, though. I think actually they're likely to spend more money on comic books. History repeated, says Rich Johnson. The thing is, the observation that comic book publishers are subject to the whims of the market and creators who work for them can be very vulnerable. As a result, is not a new one. For those comic creators working for publishers with fewer options, there's a famous image by Dave Sim that comes to mind, and this is great. And the reason why Rich Johnson is bringing up Dave Sim is to troll me, because Dave Sim is also a conservative. Dave Sim is a very famous conservative cartoonist, creator of Cerebus, who they successfully destroyed. Now, Dave Sim is like an Eisner Award winner. I mean, this guy is huge. Dave Sim is enormously famous as a writer on scale, talent on scale with Alan Moore, Neil Gaiman, Frank Miller. And because this guy was a right-winger, because this guy had some kind of anti-feminist views, they successfully destroyed his career. They successfully destroyed his career. So now what happened was Dave Sim came to me and said, I want to write Cyberfrog. And I said, he said, at least help. I'll help you write the next issue of Cyberfrog. And when I said, okay, these guys came forward with evidence of some pretty kind of gross things that Dave Sim said, and said that they were going to smear Cyberfrog with Dave Sim's comments, effectively making it so that it wasn't worth it to put, and not only that, I want to write Cyberfrog. I don't want someone else to write it. Wasn't worth it. They promised to absolutely wrap Dave Sim around my neck. So this is Dave Sim being used here. This is a great cartoon, though. It's an absolutely great cartoon. It has a guy down here, a skinny little guy, and he's saying, sure, I've thought about self-publishing, but it seems so risky. Well, he's standing there. He's got the editor on his neck, his head up the editor's ass, I guess. The editor's head is up the publisher's ass, and the publisher's head is up the ass of an enormous, gigantic, fat corporation character here that's guzzling money. So that's a rather pointed cartoon. Wouldn't we like to get rid of these 3 people? Get our heads out of the asses of these people. Be free to actually self-publish. Great cartoon by Dave Sim. He goes on to tell a little bit of history here, a little history story. Big bucks. Comic book creators who can mass a sizable enough audience through self-publishing or as good as with Image Comics can do very well and make far more money from smaller sales than on work for hire for the big companies. That is absolutely true. It's why Netflix bought up Millarworld, why Scott Snyder and Charles Soule have made more money from Undiscovered Country than all their Batman books, and why those with successful bookstores like Dave Pilkey, and Raina Telgemeier, I don't know who these people are, have made more money than anyone at Marvel but Ike Perlmutter, and why Dave Sim, when he was successfully self-publishing a niche book like Cerebus, but still selling the collections direct to retailers as well as through Diamond, stayed in the best hotels. Oh, you son of a bitch. I just got that. Okay. He's making a Here's the thing about Rich Johnson. Rich Johnson will code threats and hidden messages in his essays. He's mentioning something that happened in a hotel in Comic-Con with Dave Sim. What a fucking asshole. I hate Rich Johnson. I really hate Rich Johnson. I think he's an evil, nasty, spiteful human being. Yeah. All right. Arrived in a limousine, and now Kevin Eastman threw the best parties. None of this is new aside from the mean streak. Apparently, I'm just like all these people, but these people are nice. I'm mean. Ethan Van Sciver is a very talented, successful comic creator with a business brain. This is you guys, a mobilized, outraged fan base. That's you guys, mobilized and outraged. Enviable success, monetizing it as many have before, and bringing a number of his friends along with him. All my friends can come with me. If you're my friend, I want to take you in. I want to make sure that you guys succeed too. I want to make more friends, even if you're not really my friends. I just want to bring more people along. Let me help you. I don't want to watch people who haven't done anything wrong to me drown in this, and they're going to drown. I've reached out to a few people in particular and just said, it doesn't matter. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what you believe in. I don't even care how you feel about me personally. Can you follow these rules about what Comicsgate is? Can you come over here and can you do comics? Save yourself. You know, look at all the mobilized, outraged people. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are mobilized outraged. You're a mobilized, outraged fan base. That's how he sees you. We're not having fun here. We're pissed all the time. 100% pissed all the time. Not just now, all the time. When Cecil's drinking, we're pissed. Well, he is, anyway. All right. So I want to bring a number of my friends along with me. I wish him success and am pleased that he found a way to achieve it without reliance on comic book publishers. No, you're not, Rich. You're not. You're trying to hurt me again. It's not going to work. It doesn't actually have to always be done while cocking a snook. What is cocking a snook? God damn you, Brits. Just kidding. What is it? Cocking a snook at everyone else around you? I don't feel like I do. I feel like I only cock a snook at cockheads. Like you. As Mike S. Miller has learned, you can fall off that friend list very quickly. That is true. Absolutely true. You can fall off my friend list pretty quickly if you want to, if you intend to, if you work hard at doing it, I guess. You can fall off my friend list. And Mike did certainly work really hard at falling off my friend list. Is he making fun of VBS's nose? I don't know. Is he? What does it mean? What does cocking a snook mean? Boocat says, but the comic was Cerebus. He was an aardvark. Right. Did I pronounce it wrong? Cerebus? I think I pronounced it right. Yes, Miller did it to himself. Female empowerment is the cancer. I don't know if that's... Female empowerment is not a cancer. It's fine. It's a rude gesture, Ethan. Okay, thank you. So it's like, I don't know, biting your thumb at someone. Mike threw himself off your friends list, says Jeffrey Allen Plauchet. Is that how to pronounce it? Yeah. Mike jumped off the list. I know. It's slang for doing coke. it's okay. Yeah. Cerebus was great. It was a great book. It was a really good book. I was looking forward to having Dave Sim be a part of Comicsgate because I thought we could learn a lot from him. But I'm not sure that we could have. I think he's doing some pretty weird stuff right now. He did do a cover for Cyberfrog that was just absurd. It was Cyberfrog licking his own back, tripping out. I don't even have it anymore. I wish I still did. But it was just like, That's not what this. That's no. We're not doing that. We're not having Cyberfrog lick his own back and trip out. So we're not doing a. We're not doing some hippy dippy 1960s. Oh, people are saying it's pronounced Cerberus. Cerberus. Is it? Because there's another E in there. Cerebus. We always pronounced it Cerebus. I don't know. Doc Bear says that's toads, not frogs. Yeah, that's right. It's exactly right. And that's the problem. He isn't a toad. So you couldn't lick his back and get high. If you could, Heather would know it by now. It's Cerebus. He spelled it wrong, says Slick Rick. Okay, all right. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. Let me see your super chats here. And then we're going to go over to Facebook and we're going to read these comments. And I just want you to see how crazy this is. This is what Comicsgate hasn't had to deal with this in a little while, and I don't think I missed it. I certainly didn't miss having weirdos calling me Hitler. That's like, we call him Hitler because he just gets meaner and meaner every time we call him a Nazi. He's got a real bad attitude about being called a Nazi. All right, let's see. Supercomputer cured Corona today, says John Malin. It did. Christopher Arcella says, you missed out on Cecil's chaotic 8-hour live stream. Christopher Arcella says, I was on that live stream. Lou D says, I'm still waiting on my books, not for delay reasons, just because I started watching recently, and now I have some awesome comics on the way. Thanks, Ethan. Oh, good. I'm glad. I hope you just ordered them there. Immortal Coil says, hail, Van Sciver the Wise. Hail. Ooh, I feel like I yelled at the beginning of the stream. I was infuriated. I was absolutely very angry, but I think I got it out of my system. Amateur Ant says, Diamond can't afford to pay attention. LOL. Patriotic Cat says, I expect the worst, so I prepare for the worst. That's the way to do it right now, guys. Just, people who are like, hey, this is a 2-week vacation. I mean, you got to prepare for the worst with this situation. You don't know how it's going to end or when it's going to end or what, when the dust settles. People are saying when the dust settles, the comic industry will be stronger than ever. No, it won't. Deku Block says digital sales have stayed between $90 and 100 million, 90 and 100 million since 2002. This will not save local comic shops. K. Brady says you need to be cruel to be kind. David L says I just bought the Ides cover with Death Sting, or I bought the Ides cover with Death Sting. When is the next variant cover coming out so I can get it with the Jay Lee cover? Hail Caesar, hail Comicsgate. Next week sometime, I will put out the new variant cover. I'll probably put it out to coincide with the last week of the campaign of the first month. I think I can probably get the most attention that way. Greg Bowen says, Zach told everyone for years this was going to happen. Told him he'd never be anything in comics. Now he has his own Sunny D factory. Comics Exposed says, it's time to promote Kevin Sharp's Dragon Guard. Okay. Harbinger F says, I always liked Vampirella. Sadly, every character owned by Marvel and DC may as well be dead. I'm sorry for their fans. Elric says, great shows lately. A welcome distraction. Here's a thank you. And he gives me $10. Thank you, Elric. That's kind of you. Great Loner says, good. Let the rage flow through you. Boognish Bogwinkle says, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of their woman. Hail Caligula, hail Frega. Hail Fragigula. Is there a way to turn Frega into some kind of Russian or Roman centurion? Comics Exposed says, why don't you ever have heel versus babyface on your show? I just met him. I never heard of him. And then people said, hey, because I don't know all the YouTubers. I don't. Somebody said, hey, this guy made a video about you or mentioning you, and I watched it, and he was very nice. So we said hello in private. I'll have him on my show, or I'll be on his show. I like him. He's a nice guy. Diomedes 22 says, only here to give you a couple bucks. You're a badass. Thank you, Diomedes. And then he joined. Diomedes joined the channel, so he's going to get a Rumblebee trading card. Vince Rush Art says, Comicsgate is the resurgence of great comic books. Eugenio Olivencia says, is a new member. So, Eugenio, you are going to receive a Rumblebee trading card. Atragon X says Mike can't even hit $5,000. Alfred McKay says the Ides of March are come, Caesar, but not gone. Steve Turney says you or Zach should employ Dave Sim specifically because they told you not to. Otherwise, how are you better? Here's the thing. I would employ Dave Sim. There are a few things about Dave Sim that are weird. All right. Dave Sim is a technophobe. He has a telephone and a fax machine and no computer. So getting stuff from him would be incredibly difficult. Dave Sim's a little bit loopy. I'm sorry, I love him, but he's a little bit loopy right now. I'm not sure that I am prepared to let him write my characters. There's so many things about him that were inconvenient. He mostly wanted to come on Comicsgate to pitch his Cerebus collections, digital collections, which would have been fine, but he doesn't have a computer, so he wanted to be patched through via his telephone, which is like a flip phone. It's hard. He's living in 1995. It's really, really hard to get him into Comicsgate. But I do agree with you. In a lot of ways. Kay Brady says, G. Willow Wilson went out of her way to stop a publishing deal for Dave McKean. Everyone cheered her. Now she's crying about not publishing. Pencils all the way down. You guys have to understand, these people are monsters. They're bullies. We cheer them having to put their pencils down because they're cancel culturists. They care about canceling people's deals. They care about hurting people. That's what they care about. Spike and Madness says, say it with me, Cerberus, not Cerebus. Cerberus. Okay. Edwin the Ace Acevedo says, I think Rich deserves his own Me Too video expose. I'm not interested in that. Even if that were true of Rich Johnson, I'm not interested in doing anything underhanded to hurt him. That's just not who I am. I'll just tell people who he is, and I'll show people what he's doing. And I'll show people why he's lying, why he is dishonest. And I think that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea to just, show people why somebody's words, are intentionally dishonest. And I think he is intentionally dishonest. Plan 9 Good Time says, tell the expensive hotel story. All right. This is what they hit me with. Dave Sim had a crush on an underage girl, and he drew on her legs in a hotel room. And I think he dated her. I can't be sure about that. I'm not sure what happened, but kind of an icky situation. And there are love letters, and he wrote about it. He still admits it. I just can't do it. I can't do it. I have trouble with it. Sorry. Especially since he's still cool with it. So, go ahead and I'm sure there are things written about it. You can Google it. Spike and Madness says, my mistake. Sorry, Ethan. Cerebus was right. Oh, how about that? So I was right. Cerebus. Hatch 450SX says Cerebus is pronounced Cerberus. A lot of people are saying that. Your TV hates you says, love the Vampy shirt. I can only pray to get a Mary Machine Gun Vampy cover one day. Okay. I can't wait. Mary Machine Gun looks pretty cool. Hatch 450SX says, great email from Andrea. Frog was funny. Poseidon MGTOW says, give them nothing, take from them everything. 200 Watt Studio says, Fragigula. Fragigula. Rye Lou is a new member. Rye is going to receive the Rumblebee trading card. Amateur Ant says, let him write Rainbow Brew 1 or 2, maybe EVS. I just don't think so. I don't want to work with anyone. Hatch 450SX. Like, it's the kind of thing where it's like, I don't want to work with anyone at all. Like, this is my thing, but like some really big writer comes in and says, I'll help you. And it's almost like, oh, like this guy doesn't get it the way that I get it. But, maybe I should take it as a learning experience. I was really, really conflicted about it. I didn't want to give Cyberfrog to anyone else. I don't want to give Rainbow Brute to anyone else either. Hatch 450SX says, correction, Cerberus comic, Cerberus, three-headed dog. Cerebus. Yeah, I knew I was right. Cerebus. Christopher Arcella says, Zach mentioned in this chat, it's been proven that women can see different shades of color. So male colorists tend to be very female in their personalities. Wow, that is insane. Steve Turney says, fair enough. That'll teach me for presuming without knowing the full story. Hashtag Hail Caesar. It's so icky that I don't want to talk about it. Here's the thing. The Dave Sim thing is really icky. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to persecute Dave Sim. I don't want to make his troubles worse. There are a few people who are like that. You know, it's like there are a few people who are in this business, and I can tell that, you know, they were canceled by social justice warriors. Stuff came out later that was kind of gross. I don't want to contribute to persecuting them for that reason. I think people took joy in hurting them, and I will take no joy in hurting any of these people. But yeah, I can't go for that. No, can't do. I can't do that. So that's the way it is. All right, so let's look over at Facebook. Before I do, let me just grab something because I'm going to need a piece of evidence. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, here I come. All right, here we go. Hi, everyone. Hi. Yeah. Andrew's up there yelling. All right, so here we go. Share screen. And off we go to Facebook. This is Bleeding Cool's Facebook page. And this is the article. So, you know, what's interesting is I couldn't find any comments. Like it says comments here. I can't see them. You know, I can't see the comments on the website itself. So instead, they've got a Facebook page, and this is where all the comments are. Ethan Van Sciver, mean streak directed at creators and retailers alike. 114 comments. Holy shit! Are there more yet? Let me see here. 127. Okay, so let's look at these and see what these comments are. I've commented a little bit. I came in here and was just like, okay, let me see. Can he and his Comicsgate lackeys go away for good? I guess no. Oh, look at him. Oh, it's always like when you see these things, I'm always curious, like what type of person would say that? Like, go away from where? Like, we're not near you. We're not bothering you. Like, we're doing our own thing. Like what? Oh, he's sitting at a table with a nice set of flowers. Grimlord goes, how about no? Oh, we've got some comic skaters in here actually standing up for me. I love it. How about no? How about no? Most people rejected his message. Shut up. They hated Jesus because he told them the truth. I'm being compared to Jesus here. Don't compare me to Jesus. God damn it, I say. All this winning. JV Baz says, no, he cannot. We're not going to go away. Look, you should get at least $10 in super chats goofing on this on your next live stream. I'm like, yeah, way more than that. I mean, are you kidding me? $10 for one super chat. This guy, what a joke. Thanks. I'll be here on Wednesday for more truths. I can't tell who's who anymore. Oh, this guy. This guy's the flower guy. He's like, what a joke. All right. So let me see here. Steve O says, but remember it when it's Dan Slott and Mark Waid threatening people and shitting all over them, it's heroic and an epic clapback. But EVS is a meanie because he laughed at the people who've been talking shit on him for years. What is the mean? What are these? It's so funny. I love it. There's a civil war happening. I mean, in comics between Comicsgate, and we're winning. I mean, Comicsgate's actually winning this war. Let's see. This guy goes, Max Patrick. Let me see him. Oh, Oh, the sun will come out tomorrow. So you got to hang on till tomorrow. He looks so sad. He says, oh no, EVS is awful because he's an actual Nazi. And Dan Slott and Mark Waid are heroic and give epic clapbacks because they're against actual Nazis. Max Patrick goes on to say, he literally wrote a book called My Struggle about how minorities are destroying his art. I think he literally is confusing me with Hitler. I think he may be confusing me with Hitler. I did not write a book called My Struggle about how minorities are destroying my art. I just didn't. This is what I did do. This is my book, My Struggle. Hold on a second here. This is my book. What? Come on now. Okay. This is my book, My Struggle. It is my sketchbook from 2007. This is Sinestro. So inside this book is me complaining about minorities and gays and women. I'm saying, oh, you know, like the state of New Jersey would be a much better place if only there were no gays, no minorities, and no women in the state of New Jersey. I'm going to get out of jail. I'm a revolutionary, and I'm going to take over the state of New Jersey, and I'm going to bring New Jersey back to its former glory with no minorities or women or gays. And it's all in. Oh, it doesn't. It's a sketchbook. It's got drawings in it. It's got it's got drawings in it. It doesn't say anything about. Oh, look at that. It actually doesn't say anything about minorities in it or a struggle. Like there's no struggle in here. They're cut. These are censored pages from New X-Men that never saw print. And by the way, to answer your question, sex is hidden. Sex is hidden right here. S. See in the white lettering here? S. E. X in the branches. I can't do that without a mirror. So I want you guys to notice the hidden sex in this panel right here. S. E. X in the crossed branches. Okay. It's esoteric, but I hid sex on every page of my new X-Men run. So this is my struggle. This is why all of these special people, these exceptional human beings, believe that I'm a Nazi. Because in 2007, I put out a sketchbook called My Struggle. And these guys ran My Struggle through a German translation machine on Google and realized that My Struggle is Mein Kampf in German. Mein Kampf is the name of Hitler's book. Sinestro here looks like Hitler. Do the math. Nazi. The back of the book is really nice too, though. You know, a lot of heroes there. Okay, so there it is. That has just that one weird fact has blown up into me actually writing a book about how minorities are destroying my art. I said, what the fuck? Holy shit. Max Patrick himself, take a minute here. He says, wait, is this the neo-Nazi bigot himself? If it is, listen very carefully. Marvel and DC hiring minority creators has no bearing on the handful of issues you drew for them a decade ago. And the reason no one hires you now is because you're at best a toxic bully and at worst someone who is proud to compare himself to Hitler. I don't know what the fuck. I thought all the Nazis died in the 40s. You really love him, don't you, Steve? I wonder, has he ever thanked you so zealously for defending his honor? Yeah, Steve, thank you. I'd like to thank you for defending my honor against these total nimrods. I would. Mike Lodi says, I wish they had, but there are still plenty still with us, sadly, and they're apologists. So I'm a Nazi or an apologist, according to these people. Now, these people simultaneously, while they're calling me a Nazi, they will tell you that the reason why I was, attacked mobbed by social justice warriors was because I was mean. I'm a mean guy. But the truth is, they did this. They called me a Nazi. They spread this rumor that I was literally a Nazi. I'm not literally or figuratively or hypothetically a Nazi. I find those beliefs abhorrent. I don't even like the Volkswagen. Fuck the Volkswagen. Dave Gould says, I call the lengths these people go through just to completely ignore. There we go. Just to completely ignore all the hateful shit EVS puts on his channel on a daily basis. But that's the shit they like. They like him because he hates the same marginalized people they do. Are you marginalized? They're not. Stop, man. They're not ignoring it. It's what they want. Ethan Van Sciver, also less than 24 hours ago, you tweeted art of you standing over the dead body of a trans creator that you and your friends have mercilessly bullied because of her identity. That was Tim Doyle. That was Tim Doyle in a bikini. But go ahead and explain to us how you have the industry's best wishes at heart. I don't care about the industry. Look, here's my evidence. Nazis still exist. Cheers. Steve O defends EVS with the power of 1,000 slaves. They're making fun of your boy Zach. Nazis still exist. And this is just me laughing. These people are crazy. These people are absolutely insane. So let's see. Show me on the action figure. Show me where on the action figure did EVS hurt you? The only mean streak EVS has is shitting on all of you losers. Oh, we got a lot of defenders here now. Max Patrick's anus hurts like he just got out of prison. And I said, love it, but I didn't say it to this. I wasn't responding to this. I just like the article a lot. Let's see. Printed comics are a bad business model. Writers and artists creating content for intellectual property that they receive minimum compensation for, while overhead costs make comics prohibitive for the direct market to thrive. Marvel and DC are only kept afloat by their parent companies. We love comics, making and reading them, but aren't attracting new readers in large enough numbers to keep the industry alive. Okay, Bleeding Cool and its gatekeepers are such wonderful people who have never trolled anyone, says Stephen Gardy. Never destroyed anyone's career or targeted anyone's social media or spread a rumor. Where would comics be without you, Rich? Whose career was destroyed? That's the whole thing that they do. Now, here we go. Who's this dude here? He's from Germany. You're kidding. You don't say. He's from Germany. Someone just cut his vocal cords and his hands off so the guy doesn't spread his BS even further. I mean, he used to be an amazing artist, but at this point, his legacy is more in his bigotry than his art. So you're supposed to slit my throat, cut my hands off so that I can't make YouTube videos anymore or draw Cyber Frog because of my bigotry. And then this guy posts, shut up. They hated Jesus because he told them the truth. This guy goes, again, he goes, believe me, you don't want to start this. I'll mock you to pieces. Good Lord. To understand, people fantasize about hurting me. These people fantasize about actually hurting me. Cutting my hands off. I've heard that a few times. Like these guys, if they could, in their penisless violence, they want to cut my hands off. Slit my throat. Wow, an actual physical threat. You must be proud. Yeah. Wow. Dennis L. Barger comes in and says you're deplorable. That doesn't mean anything anymore, that word. But yeah. Even though I don't agree with him on mainly everything, but the times I met him, he was super cool. And I remember one time talking to him for 15 minutes about how he co-created Atrocitus. Cool. I mean, that's the good thing about going to cons that I'll actually kind of miss. Conventions aren't going to exist anymore, but getting a chance to talk to people and make them happy. This guy had a memory with me over getting to talk to me about Atrocitus. It's, that's kind of cool. Jonathan Boyce says people are angry because Ethan Van Sciver was right. The direct market side of the industry has an unsustainable business model, excessive variant covers, catering to speculators, high prices for single issues, non-returnable floppy comics, and more. It's also unbelievable how antagonistic comics creators are with fans over Twitter. They're estranged, hardcore Wednesday Warrior fans. Instead of building bridges between them and the new ones, those creators also made the mistake of not investing in their own independent work. And following the company line off a cliff like lemmings. This is what happens when you play the faithful employee to huge mega corporations. Now these freelancers are shafted and left bankrupt. Marvel and DC haven't said anything about offering economic relief either. Here's Max Patrick again. So glad EVS is here to give his awful opinion about this whole thing. All I did was laugh, Max. I said, ha ha ha. This guy finds my YouTube episodes difficult to watch. Well, that's, I could make them better, I guess. And this guy again, man, his art is awful, but I'm glad he's really vocal about being a Nazi. Sir, I am not a Nazi. I don't know why you think that I am. Scrolling down. Brian, these people are triggered. He's successful while the comic industry flounders. EVS doesn't say anything remotely like the guy you're responding to says he does. It's pretty simple to refute. Hell, if you've seen some of his videos, Comicsgate is made up of people differing backgrounds. These idiots call anyone a Nazi if they disagree with or criticize them. Just laugh at these fools like the rest of us. Why should Van Sciver show empathy to people who actively sought to destroy him? Only a fool does that. That's correct. That's how I feel. I feel like I feel zero empathy for them. I consider this like, I've said this before. I said, God really does. God is on my side, and in a special way. And when stuff like this happens, I just get out of the way. It's like God's going to handle this. I really don't need to do anything but just watch. Just watch like this. God's going to take care of these people. He always does. Why should he ever forgive them? I can, but he should not. However, he probably will. Forgive what? The minority creators whose existence, he says, threatens his art, in quotes? Where does he get this? Where do these people get this shit? Let's see. He and the rest of the Comicsgate people somehow think creators like Wilson, Coates, Amanat, and DeSaggio threaten their existence as creators and have spent the last 5 years trying to bully them out of the industry. I wouldn't hire them either, says Max Patrick again. I don't think that. I think these guys are actually, these 4 people who you mentioned, I don't know who Wilson is. But I know who these people are, and I think they're social justice warriors who have an agenda, and they insert their agenda into comics and make them difficult to sell. Let me see. I don't think any of these people have tried to bully me out of the industry, nor have I tried to bully them out of the industry. I just think they shouldn't be in the industry because they do bad work. All right, let me see. Is there anything else? These are people are going back and forth here. Ethan Van Sciver, dick move, man. I didn't do anything. What do you want from me? All I'm doing is speaking the truth. You can't blame me for telling you the truth and then get upset. I didn't cause this to happen. It just happened because of some of the stuff that you guys have done. All right. So on the bright side, this comment section is an excellent resource for building up your block list. The Comicsgaters can't help but flock to the comment section to continue being mad that no one will fuck them. I'm sorry. You wanna fuck us? He's like, see how desperate he is? Why would you talk about that? Most of us are guys. What are you talking about? Nobody will fuck them. And it's like, you're all right. So in any case, guys, this is what it is right now. This is the end of the comic book industry. And it was a silly industry. It was a very, very silly industry to begin with, full of frivolous, very shallow people who I don't really believe loved comics. I believe these people loved the idea of the power that being in charge of comics gave them. I think that's what they were doing. And it's all coming to an end. People who do nothing but seek power, as I think social justice warriors do, will do anything to hang on to it, including going down with the ship. And again, we're going to watch them do that too. We're going to watch them actually figuratively go down with the ship right now and be angry the whole time. Your boy Zach reached out to me and he just said, it's starting to sink in. Like they're starting to understand what happened to them. Oh man, it's like reading all that stuff makes my face hurt. Like I go, I'm not, like I do this a lot. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? I wrote a book about minorities. What? Like you did? Like you're making this stuff up and you're angry about it. Like I didn't do any of that. But I gotta hold on a second. Let me just get that out of my soul and out of my heart. That was awful. Zach said that as these people start to realize that what we've said is true, and that the industry is not going to bounce back, and the consequences for all of this are most likely going to be permanent and far worse than they're imagining or allowing themselves to admit. Probably worse than I even suggested that they were. The consequences, long-term consequences for the comic book industry are probably severe. I do think DC Comics is going to stop publishing. I don't know what's going to happen to Marvel. I think all of the other companies are going to go down too. I think returnability is going to become a necessity. I think the book market and I think Amazon are going to be the prime distributors. And that's just the way it's going to be, guys. So goodness sakes. Zach said, as they start to realize this, the attacks are going to become more frequent and more crazy. Get ready. He said, get ready for a wave of SJW attacks that are going to do everything they can to finally take you down. Okay. I don't care anymore. There's nothing you could do, guys. There's nothing you could do. If you could have taken me down, and I say this to everyone, if you could have taken me down, it would have happened by now. Every little bit of my life has been exposed. Everything about me has been laid out. There's nothing left to do but lie, and those lies are silly. I am not Zoe Quinn's cousin. And even if I were Zoe Quinn's cousin, I can't help my dad's brother's kids, or whatever that would be. What is a cousin, right? My dad's brother, my mom's sister's kids, whatever it would be. No, they'd be Van Sciver. So there would be my dad's brother or sister's kids. That would be Zoe Quinn. Zoe Quinn is not in my family. They're making shit up. I'm not being investigated by the FTC. I'm not being investigated by the Secret Service. Nothing I have done with Cyberfrog Wrecked Planet, Cyberfrog Blood Honey are fraudulent. Cyberfrog Blood Honey was late. You might have liked it, you might not have liked it. I thought it was the best book of the year. I still love Cyberfrog Blood Honey. I get very happy in my heart when I think about it. You can't take me down because I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not literally Tony Soprano just because you think I'm Tony Soprano. I wish I were. God, I might do it. I actually ordered a bunch of white undershirts today from that Mack Weldon underwear store. I was like, you know what I need? I need white undershirts. I have a bunch of nice white bathrobes. Tony Soprano wore some, he wore those kind of boxers. He wore like light blue boxers from like Brooks Brothers. I've seen him there. And then he wore white, like wife beater, but tighter kind of undershirts. And then a cross chain. I'm ready for that. I needed to get some white undershirts. I got them coming now. So I can look like Tony Soprano if I want to, as I walk out to get the paper. Slippers, my bathrobe hanging open, my light blue boxer shorts, and a white wife beater. What do you guys think? Yes? Yeah, gabagool. Somebody will have to take a picture of me like that, and that'll drive everyone nuts. That'll drive these people crazy. See, I told you he was an organized criminal mobster. All right, let me read some more of this stuff here. Great super chats from you guys. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Use Rainbow Brute for Comicsgate collaboration, says Jared Weaver. Malin has Strawberry Beefcake. I'm sure others can come up with similar characters for that world. That's something to think about. Joshua Trammell's a new member. He's going to get a Rumblebee trading card. Amateur Ant says Mark Waid wrote a book called Mike Hunt. I don't think he did, but it'd be great if he did. Adrian Stone says, have all the Easter eggs in Blood Honey been found, E? I don't know if there are that many Easter eggs in Blood Honey. I don't know if there are that many Easter eggs in that book, really. Harbinger F said, did H hide sex in each page, though? Did H hide sex in each page, though? H? Who's H? Comics Exposed says Dragon Guard, Ethan. Dragon Guard now. Go back, Dragon Guard by Kevin Sharp. I don't know what platform it's on. I hope it's on Indiegogo. TFM Knight says IDW is going under right now. You should look into that. I know IDW is not going to make it. Brett Norman says, wait, you co-created Atrocitus and the cat? No, Shane Davis created the cat. I created Atrocitus. And I will say for Atrocitus, normally it's like you want to say 50-50 split between the writer and the artist, but Atrocitus is like 90% me, okay? Because I had the name, I had the character design, and I created the Red Lantern Corps with Jeff. So really, the only thing that Jeff did was write the oath and say, describe what planet he was from, like the world he came from. Atrocitus is almost completely my creation. Kanan White says, I think you put it best, EVS. Wow, thanks for $20. The Marvel and DC writers insert themselves, their views, into their characters rather than becoming the character, and as a result, it cuts off a fan base and caters to ones that don't really care. That's the weird psychological phenomenon that goes on with SJWs creating characters, yeah. Cute Nerd says, truth is hate speech. They don't like it. Like when I say, look, I'm sorry, but we don't need retailers, I'm not saying that to hurt retailers' feelings. It's a fact. Factually, our model doesn't use retailers. We don't need them. And in a way, that's kind of kind, because at this point, people who are using retailers are literally using retailers like parasites. We don't do that. We just, we print the books, we ship the books ourselves. But I mean, yeah, it's like, we don't need retailers, and retailers are in real trouble. Oh my God, you're being mean to retailers. It's just reality. I consider them to be big people. And by the way, a couple of retailers reached out to me and said, no, we're going to be fine. Myself, my store is going to be fine. I'm going to get up off the ground, and people are going to be celebrating when I get back into action again. And to them, I say, cheers, do it. I want you to succeed. I want you to get up after this. But I mean, this is right now. I mean, the industry's at a standing 8 count. It's, Eclipse Warlord says, such dishonest people. Finish the book, Ethan. Goat Bacon, thanks for joining the channel. You will receive a Rumblebee trading card. Donuts One says they're projecting. We get that poontang by the pound. Yeah, I know. These people who are like, you never get sex. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that I do. Nobody will fuck you. Pretty sure that they do. One person does. It was never really a problem for me, though, ever. Even at my fattest. Corruption Point says, ask them where they get their claims about you. Well, I know where they get them from. They circulate them around, and they make them up, and they invent them. That's where they get them from. X Lassengy says, Ethan, we need music. Today, I was playing Macho Man on that piano. I was rocking Macho Man. I mean, I was playing like if my keyboard were like a guitar with like distort that, like that's how I was playing Macho Man by the Village People. I was rocking it, dude. I was rocking Macho Man. No, the Village People. Macho Man. I have got to be a macho man. What do you think? I mean, yeah, it was good. Kevin Splady says, play it for us. I don't know. I don't know if I feel like playing piano. Robert says, I want some Lionel Richie. Geek Horse says, gotta DM you. Geek Horse has a new song. Gotta DM you, EVS. Got a big plan. Geek Chorus, I appreciate that, but you actually do have a pretty good song. And even though it's more like, I like to play your stuff when it's, when you put something out. Even though this is more like something that we would do for the Jack Show, I still want to play this song. All right, let me see here. This is great. You're so good, dude. You're really, really good. Here we go. This is called Anna's Crazy.
She's a very pretty girl with a strange view of the world, just as Peaches. has a reoccurring fear that her man will disappear near gay beaches. Anna's crazy. Whoa, 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 Anna's crazy. Even her mom says Anna's crazy. Is she out of her mind? Won't eat vegetables at all, so she's only 4 feet tall, lacks nutrition. She can draw and write her name, all the pixie sticks to blame for her condition. Anna's crazy. Whoa, 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 Anna's crazy. Even her mom says Anna's crazy. Whoa, is she out of her mind? She goes by that Star Wars girl on YouTube and on Twitter. She's so small you'd think that Peaches was her babysitter. She likes guys with hairy thighs and talking circumcision. Apparently her family was too much for MTV.
What is that about?
Well, she knows her Star Wars stuff and can't seem to get enough of kissing Tulip. And you should have heard her shriek when a raccoon attacked her feet. She lost fluid. Anna's crazy. Oh, 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 Anna's crazy. Even her mom says Anna's crazy. Is she out of her mind? Anna's crazy. Oh, 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 Anna's crazy. Even her mom says Anna's crazy. Out of her mind. Whoa, Anna's crazy.
Anna's crazy.
Anna's crazy.
Anna's crazy.
Anna's crazy.
Poor Anna. Let's just make it a double adder. Yes, it's my favorite.
That's Mike. That's what war campaigners say. Obsessed with dildo memes while he judges the gays. But I think he's gonna change his tune when Bitcoin is down to $1 or $2. Oh, that's Mike. While his campaign is buffering.
While it's buffering.
Mike gets his kicks tweeting out. Amphibian suffering.
Why would he do
so
that?
Proud of his drawn and quartered wins. I guess he forgot pride is a sin. When he was Comicsgate, the streams were great. Man, we had fun. Then he drank some meth when laced Kool-Aid, and that made him dumb. Mike, what were you thinking? Your view count is shrinking. They're hanging out with EVS and watching Cecil drinking. Hey, Mike! Oh, you can't deny it. If you launch a new campaign, only Edwin will buy it. Don't listen to that dirtworm guy.
Don't listen to him.
Or you'll end up in a trebuchet and fly. When you were Comicsgate, the streams were great. Man, we had fun. Then you drank some meth when laced Kool-Aid, and that made you dumb. Mike, what were you thinking? Your channel is shrinking. They're hanging out with Uncle Ethan, watching Cecil drinking. Hey, Mike! Oh, you can't deny it. If you launch Lone Star 3 right now,
only Edwin will buy it.
Don't listen to that dirtworm guy.
Magnificent. Just great work, Geek Chorus.
Or they're gonna put you in a great big trebuchet Guevara, and you'll fly.
Wonderful.
Schemes and scams.
Absolutely terrific. All right, everyone over here. Cyberfrog Wreck Planet. Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet. This is the reason for the season. Thank you so much for donating to this and bringing it up to $433,370. You know, once we get to 450, you know, we're adding another Chromium trading card to everyone's package. Everyone who backs this campaign at any level is already going to receive 2 trading cards. One is called Family. The other one is called Spite. And then there's going to be a series of 3 trading cards, God willing. The first one that you're getting is a Chromium Cyberfrog, a Chromium Salamandroid. And once we get to 450, we're going to add a Chromium Heather Swain. So all backers at any level are going to get all those cards once we get to $450,000. It's looking pretty good. It's looking like we're going to get there. I appreciate you guys. Let's take a look at this video.
Loneliness is the coat you wear, a deep shade of blue is always there. The sun ain't gonna shine anymore, the moon ain't gonna rise through the sky. Tears are always clouding your eyes when you're without love.
Yeah, it's a great song. Frankie Valli, Sun Ain't Gonna Shine. That's the song that is inspiring Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet right now. I listened to it a bunch more times today and was just like thoroughly inspired and moved to get this book out, to make it great, to make it the best sequel in comic book history. The best sequel in comic book history. I'm looking to beat the sequel to Dark Knight Returns. That's my goal. My goal is to do a better sequel than the sequel for The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. I hope I can do it. It's going to be tough. Cyberfrog Wreck Planet, the executive Honeycomb box set. Holy cow. We sold 991 of them. We're going to hit 1,000 of those pretty soon. It's going to be amazing once we hit that. And of course, we've got less than 2 weeks left on this campaign. Less than 2 weeks before we get to the big show, where I guess that's where I'm going to launch the variant cover, the other variant cover for this. I'll probably do that right at the end, you know, and we'll just smoke it. It'll be awesome. It'll be totally awesome to do that. Dumbest name says, "Hey, you're funny, EBS." Well, I liked it. You know, I liked the sequel, but I guess other people didn't really like it as much as I did. All right, so we got this. This is all you really need. You need the J. Lee Wreck Planet comic book, and you need Salamandroid Death Sting. Salamandroid Death Sting is a 32-page book, 20-page story, regular comic book size, about what happened to Salamandroid in between the last time we saw him and then the events of Wreck Planet. What happened to poor Sal? Did it hurt when he died? These are the questions that are going to be answered in Salamandroid Death Sting. You can do it this way. Just get both comics for the $50 tier. You can add a head sketch inside the cover if you want to, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, look, back the comic book. Do not miss out on it. Make sure that you're a part of this campaign. This is the campaign that everyone's looking at right now. This is the campaign that's causing SJWs to realize they have to mount another attack on comics gators like me and Zach. I guess I'm prepared for it. I don't know what I'm going to do. How will I survive the brutal stinging attack of a bunch of people who have just been thrown out of the only industry that would tolerate their behavior? How will I do it? I don't know. I guess I'll just kind of, chill out by my pool. I'll probably look at their attacks on my phone and go, oh no, oh my goodness, oh no. So that's probably how I'll deal with it. I hope you can deal with it yourselves. I'll be here to laugh at it with you. Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales 1 and 2 has passed Lone Star. Wow. Even passed Lone Star. It passed Lone Star by a little bit more. Passed Lone Star Heart of the Hero. This is a reprint comic. These 2 books are the first 2 appearances of Cyberfrog from the Hall of Heroes series. And they've been colored by Kyle Ritter. And what fun. At this point, if you back these campaigns, you will be receiving these beautiful foil embossed, colored Cyberfrog issues and some Cyberfrog paper dolls. Cyberfrog and Heather Blockhead paper dolls, which look pretty good so far. I should find those. Let me see if I can find them and show you guys. I like to show you things. I don't want to just tell you about them. You should actually be able to see them too. Let me see here. Whoa, 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 and it's crazy. I probably shouldn't sing that. That's not nice. Let me see here. Open image in a new tab. Yeah. Okay, good. Here's what Cyberfrog looks like. So, if you back those books, you're going to receive this. This is the Cyberfrog Blockheads doll. It's a paper doll, guys. And you're going to get one of Heather too, Heather Swain. So you'll have Cyberfrog and Heather Blockheads, and I don't know. You can love them. You can collect them. Maybe we'll do a Salamandroid at some point. I don't know how. I'm not really sure how we're gonna do a Salamandroid one of these. All right, some people want to see the Vespis card again. This is the Vespis trading card. It's turned sideways. This is the Vespis trading card. If you if you signed up for email notifications for Cyberfrog 2 Wreck Planet, you are entitled to one of these Vespis cards, and we're probably just going to mail them out like as soon as we get them. It'll be easier that way. Andrea says we could just go through the file, print out some labels, and then just ship these out. We're printing 5,000 of them, and that's it. So you guys will get your Vespis trading cards before you get your Wreck Planet books. And I hope that's okay with you. A nice free gift from us to you. This is the Rumblebee trading card that people who join the channel will get. These are channel members. Exclusive. Look at this. Comic Artist Pro Secrets member exclusive promo card number R2. The Rumblebee trading card. So people who join the channel and pay $4.99 a month are kind of subscribed to get these cards every now and then. The first one was Heather Swain, and this one is Rumblebee. So get ready you'll find these in your mailbox soon. These were sent off to the printer today. I had to do a couple more corrections on them. It's like the word strength and were put together. There was no space between them. I was like, oh, fix that. It's going to drive me nuts. So things like that. But the cards are corrected, and now they are headed to the print. I think we're going to get them in like a week or two. I don't know how long it takes to make trading cards anymore. I forget. But we should get them soon. And when we do, we will send them out to you guys. Well, actually, what we're going to do is do not send Andrea a message saying, where's my Rumblebee card? Do not do that. Do not send Andrea a message saying, where's my Vespis card? Don't do that. We've already got all your information for your Vespis card. We don't need anything else from you for that. Is that true? Wait a second. Is that true? No, I don't think that is true. We don't have your home address. We're gonna have to send a mass. Email out to everybody who gave us their email address and get your home addresses so that we can mail you these cards. That's going to be a little bit of trouble, but I think we can do it. I think people will participate with that. I think people will give us their addresses. But as for Rumblebee, I'm going to say Rumblebee cards are in. And do this, and you're going to see the address. It's time to send Andrea a message and ask for your trading card. Give her your address, and she's going to start mailing the cards out. But don't do it before then, because we'll just delete your message. It'll get in the way. It'll get confusing. So don't ask until we say it's time. Okay. I'm going to read some super chats. No, I'm going to read one super chat. Holy cow. Charlie's London, thank you for 20 pounds. EVS, great stream. Can I get a shout out for Yan? It's our 4-year anniversary today, and he was at work. His team installed Corona equipment that went in the new NHS hospital. I'm buying him the Wreck Planet Deluxe box for a present. Wow, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, you guys. Happy anniversary, Yan. and Charlie's London. We love you guys, and hope you have a wonderful, wonderful celebration. Tomorrow is tomorrow's Andrea's birthday, by the way. You know what she wanted? She wanted a juicer. She wanted a one of these things that smash fruit and make juice. I got her a pretty nice juicer. And then we're getting her, I got her a nice strawberry shortcake for her birthday. I got to go pick that up tomorrow. I had that made by a friend. And by the way, I want to thank, my pal Al DiBartola. His son, Jackson DiBartola, is a big fan of the show. Hello, Jackson. I don't know if you're watching right now, pal, but your dad's a genius. I went to high school with him. He was amazing, hilarious. And, you got a great dad. Be good. Be a good boy. Thank you, everyone who is, you dummy, she watches the show. She asked for it. No, I said, Andrea knows what she's getting for her birthday. I don't try really to get her things because I might not get her the right thing. I go, what would you like? You're entitled to a gift. You're entitled to an expensive gift if you'd like one. What would you like? And she said, I really want this juicer. How much is too much? And I said, how much is a juicer? And she showed me, and it was pretty expensive. But it wasn't too much for Andrea's birthday, So we bought her the juicer, and that's her birthday present. Yeah. But she knows it's coming, guys. Don't worry. I didn't spoil a surprise, and she knows about the cake. I want to make sure that she gets everything she wants. And I said to her, what would you like me to do tomorrow? How about if I just watch Ava all day? I will watch the kids, and you can nap. You can watch TV. You can do whatever you want and not have to do any running around. I'll even cook. I just want to make it so that it's like we can't do anything. Ordinarily, I'd be like, here, go out and get your hair did, get your nails did, go have a good time. But it's like, it's Corona. What do you do? It's like, you can't go out and do anything cool, if you're a girl. So I'm trying to find a way to make the day nice for her, make the day pleasant for her. But I'll be Mr. Mom tomorrow so that she gets a nice, easy day of relaxation. And that means I'll probably stream late at night, but that's about it. Thank you guys. Get your nails did. That's right. Your hair did, your nails did. Don't you guys have no hip hop in you whatsoever. How can you not know nails did, hairs did? Don't you listen to Drizzy, Drake? Oh, you fancy, huh? Hair done, nails done, everything did. People are saying comb the beard. I will. Hold on. I know it's driving me nuts too. Billy Tucci gave me this as a gift. It never leaves my desk. This is the best beard comb. It smells good too. I can't explain it. It's really, really good. Me here, you there says, stop it, Ethan. You're 45 years old. I'll never stop. All right, let me see. Any more super chats? And then Hanzo says, SJW's Marxist, communists, and socialists destroyed things from the inside out because they cannot create anything successful or profitable. When things don't work out, they lash out in their own shit. It's a good point, Hanzo. Go Bacon's a new member. Mention that, of course. Hank Spectrum says local comic shops could have been turning to Comicsgate books and pushing fan-friendly publishers like Alternate and Dynamite, but most chose to go down with the SJW ship. I don't think they felt like they had a choice. Professor Ramandev says, considering you directly ship comics to your backers, have you even noticed the whole global pandemic thing? I can't tell. Here's how it would affect me. It'll affect me if people stop buying the book, but I don't see them not buying the book right now, obviously. I'm seeing people, we put up, Andrew and I put up all of the Cyberfrog Blood Honey books. Actually, we put up all the team up books on eBay. We sold through more than 100 copies of them at $30 each. That's a $5 markup, I had to tell Zach this, by the way. Zach, I was like, Zach, if you have any Jawbreakers left over and you're going to sell them, you cannot. I know you're one of these guys who's like, I'm going to sell them at a discount. If you sell them at a discount, Zach, you're going to enrage your backers. You have to add $5 to the price. If you're going to sell any old copies of Jawbreakers, he's like, I have some. I'm like, well, if you're going to sell them, they need to be $30 now, not $20 or $15. And he's like, well, that goes counter to everything that I feel in my heart. And I said, I know, but you have to remember to keep the value of your book up, and you don't want to decrease the market value of the books that people paid $25 for. So make sure that you sell them for at least $30. He said, I agree with you. So that's what he's going to do, I think. But that's what we're doing. We sold team up covers, at least 100 copies on eBay for $30. I don't see our market slowing down, but it could. It could. The global pandemic could affect us, and it'll be slightly harder to find printers. How could it affect us if the USPS shuts down and there's no mail delivery? I mean, that's end of the world shit, though. I mean, that's like the end of America kind of shit. I don't foresee that happening, but if it did, that would be a problem for us. Other than that, no. We're good. Like, we're pretty. We have reasonably low overhead. We don't have too many moving parts. We're ready to rock and roll. All right, let's see. Pete Callan says, here's $2 for the jukebox, Uncle A. Well, thanks. Brett Norman says, I'll bet 90% of the chat was singing along at home to That's Mike. Everyone loves Geek Chorus. Donald DeLay says, sent you a DM, you'll want to share. Proof. All right, well, let me see, Donald. Let me see what you're doing here. Okay. Hold on, Donald. I'll open it up and I'll share this. I'm sure people will be very curious about what the hell Donald DeLay is up to. I mean, it does work, Donald. You have to admit. I mean, that does. This does kind of look like where I'm headed in life. Right here. This is what I'm looking for. I've got these underpants. I got the robe. My robe looks cleaner and more fluffy than this, though. And I got these undershirts coming. I got a cross that I can wear. This is what I'm looking to look like from here on out. I think it's cool. I like that. I think that's how I need to be. All right, so let's see. That Cyberfrog 2 intro vid was a bit spooky, says JH and 4. Yeah, I hope so. I think that's what I'm going for. I mean, the idea of like the lyrics are great. I mean, just the utter doom. It's like you lost, the aliens, the bad guys won, and they've implanted themselves for 20 years. Like, you wake up and you lost the fight 20 years ago. And the consequences of having lost the fight have completely cemented themselves, on Earth. It's not like, oh, well, maybe we can turn back the tide because it just now happened. But no, it's 20 years. Some of these Vespis, many of these Vespis were born here. They're naturalized citizens of planet Earth. I mean, they call it our planet. This is our home. What are you talking about? It's creepy as hell. Vincent the Keeper says, E, do you have plans to expand the all caps line? Yes, I do, with a book called Fearsome, with Rainbow Brute. And those are the two books that I have in addition to Cyberfrog right now. But I've got lots of other ideas. And when I feel like it's time. But you don't want to put too much stuff out there. I can't strain you guys. I don't want to hit you up for $25 every month. I don't think that's the right thing to do. I told you at the beginning of the year that I think I said if you had $100 or $200, you'll be able to buy one of everything that I put out this year. $200 would be one of every book that I put out this year, and you'll be okay. And that's all. That's like what I'm asking from from my customers this year. Putting out a monthly book and flooding you guys, I just don't think it's a good idea. I think I think it's better to just keep the amount of product I put out limited and build anticipation for it. Donuts One says, that's a dope hat. You cannot sell that at a discount. Yeah. Rikers Island says, EVS, think Jay Scott would ever do a Heather cover? I got the price from J. Scott Campbell, and it was close to $100,000 to do a cover. And I said, no. I said, as much as I would like to see it, I am not paying anyone $100,000 to do a cover. I'm not. There's no chance of that. I don't think I could make that money back. So, no. Too much money. J Scott's not doing a cover for me. Kenny Jones says, "Hey EVS, I like the Cyberpunk blockhead. Could you do blockheads of some people in the comics community like you and Cecil and John Malin?" They actually have done that. The guy who does blockheads, his name is Blockheads on Twitter. He has done figures like that. He's done one of me. He did one of Cecil and Malin. I think he did one of Anna. They're really good. I mean, they look like us too. John Branson says, Ethan, you're an oasis in this troubled time. Thank you. Oh, thank you. What a nice thing to say. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to stand up strong to all this bullshit. It's crazy. You don't know what it's like. You know what it's like to have everyone trying to destroy you and tear you down? Without you guys, I don't know what I would do. I mean, I pretty much depend on, fans. I depend on my subs. I depend on my followers. It's just a lot. It's a lot on my shoulders all the time. But I can do anything. I can do anything because I've got you guys and I've got Andrea. I can stand up to anything. Rhino says, Kevin Sharp is a comics pro. We knew it would start slithering in. He has a blacklist and he ran with anti-Comicsgate. Now he's pretending to be CG when he has something to sell. If you like the book, fine, but he's not CG. I got to tell you, I've got an attitude now, of like no new friends. I don't trust people anymore. Can you blame me? I'm slow to trust people. I don't want to bring people in. I don't want to devote my time and energy to people who are just going to turn out to be rats. I just don't want to do it. It's too much pain for all of us. I mean, look, the Doug, Edwin, Mike thing, we laugh about it. It's funny. It's a source of a lot of jokes and it's fun. But, it caused a lot of pain. That whole situation caused people a lot of mental anguish. And we laugh about it just because it hurt. Nobody enjoyed that. Nobody enjoyed having to endure those guys suddenly turning on us and becoming vicious enemies. I don't want it to happen again. Job of the Cuck says, I'm here to destroy you, EVS. I know you are, Job of the Cuck, but you're lovable about it. So I don't want to do that. Now, yeah, people are saying Dan Frag is in. Dan Frag has been my friend for, 20, as long as I've been a comic book professional, 25 years. I've known Dan. And by the way, I gave Dan a speech about this. I talked to Dan about Comicsgate. He was asking me about it. And I said to him, I wish I could promote you. I don't want you to do this. It's gonna hurt if you do this. Becoming Comicsgate hurts. It's becoming a vampire. It is becoming the undead. You have to you lose human feelings, and you need to, because these people will hurt them if you have them. So I don't want you to do that, Dan. I wish I could help you, but Dan just came out of nowhere and said, I'm Comicsgate. Fuck these guys. I'm Comicsgate. All right. So Dan chose that. But I mean, I didn't bring him on board or ask him to do that or anything like that. That's Dan's choice. I respect him. I always have. And he is, he's learning a lot. He's learning a lot about the truth of the comic book industry right now. Ronnie Schreiber says, number one, what about an alternate universe where Cyberfrog and Sal mostly defeated the Vespis? Please wear the hoodie. I made it to be worn. Ronnie, you want me to wear that hoodie? I'll wear it. An alternate universe where Sal and Cyberfrog defeat the Vespis? Okay. It's an interesting concept, but I mean, then there's there's nothing for them to do. It's like the Vespis come and they win, and then they go, okay, we're done. See you later. Gark777 said, haven't sent you a super chat in a while, but I just wanted to say thank you for the entertainment. And I agree that you're the size of an oasis. Hail Work Campaign. Shut up, Gark777, but thank you for the $5. Matthew Lemons is a new member. Thank you for joining. You are going to be receiving a Rumblebee trading card. I appreciate you very much. Adam Fredden was gone before he ever left. What are people saying here? Let me get back to the chat and see what you guys are saying. We'll just turn it into a little bit of a Q&A. What about Brian Shearer alternate cover? I'm not interested in. I gotta say, the Jay Lee thing was good. I'm thinking about Sam Keith for another one. But I don't think I'm going to be doing too many alternate covers for Cyberfrog. I have trouble with it. I want my covers to be on my books. In some cases it just seems to be, the right thing, but yeah. Let me see here. I always knew Dan would go Comicsgate because of how he is on his streams. Yeah, it didn't surprise me when he did. Adam Friended Status, says Simon Oliver. Comicsgate. Still Comicsgate. He hasn't come into the chat in a little while, but he's as far as I know, he's still Comicsgate. He's doing his own thing. But we talk to him in private all the time. Why are people saying this? Is Adam Friended really gone from Comicsgate? I don't know. Maybe you guys know something I don't. Let's see. Jake CB says, when I came out as Comicsgate, I got doxxed the same day by one of my customers. He still got his books. Hail Comicsgate, hail War Campaign, Comicsgate only. Sorry about that, Jake. That sucks. Yes, Sam Keith. Yeah, it's actually Sam Keith, the I before the E. That's how he spells his last name, Sam Keith, Kayeth, but it's Sam Keith. I really, really like Sam Keith. Some of you might not know what his artwork looks like. Let me just look it up real quick here. So you guys can see. He does this cool, psychedelic, exaggerated thing. You're going to see, when you see this artwork, you're going to say, oh, wow, it's kind of like, you can see where Donald DeLay is coming from, I think. I mean, that's how I see it. When Donald draws, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, you're a big Sam Keith fan. Look at it. It's like super cartoony, and crazy. A lot of like big muscles. Everything's exaggerated, super detail. A lot of ink on the page. I love Sam Keith's work. It's creepy and fun and cool. I think he would do a really good Cyberfrog. I think he would do a really, really good Cyberfrog. What is all this stuff? He did a book called The Max. I don't know if you remember the MTV cartoon, The Max, but that's, that was based on Sam Keith's property there. So I don't know how much he's going to charge. But as long as it's reasonable, like Jay Lee was expensive, but reasonable. He was like reasonably expensive. J. Scott Campbell is unreasonably expensive. Look at this. Look at this shredded costume, like all over the ground. Look at these like phone cord style. That is insane, man. I don't know how he does this. I mean, you can tell he's going to do a great Cyberfrog. He's just like a storybook illustrator. Everything's super exaggerated and cool. All right, let me see here. Back to the stream. Let's see. Peyton Holden says, sing, damn it. I'm not going to sing. And not only that, like I'm losing my voice. I talk too much. Pretty sure Campbell gave you that number to deter you. Yes, I agree with you. I think J. Scott Campbell would rather not draw for anything Comicsgate related. I don't think he wants the grief. I don't think he likes me very much, but everybody's got their price. So it's like, that's the price for me to get a J. Scott Campbell cover. Could we afford it? Mm-hmm. Are we going to do it? Mm-mm. I'm not going to do it. It would be fun just to see what it would look like, but that's just, that's prohibitive. That's crazy expensive. Both Jay Lee and Sam Keith are unique, distinct, iconoclast artists. Yeah, Sam Keith lives in his own world. I heard some cool stories about him. One of the stories that I heard about him from one of his editors, back when Sam, in the 1980s, Sam was working on Wolverine covers. He was doing covers for Marvel Comics Presents Wolverine. They're great covers. And he's like, the editor called him and said, hey, Sam, when are you going to get the Wolverine cover into me? And Sam's like, I'm going to be up all night tonight. I'll get the cover to you. So, God, this is a weird story. So the editor goes, the next day, he's like, I'm checking my messages. And it's like, hey, Mark, this is Sam. I'm working on the Wolverine cover right now. I'll get it done for you tomorrow. Trying to figure out what I want to have for dinner. I think I want to have a bowl of cereal. I don't know if it's going to be Fruity Pebbles or if it's going to be Cocoa Puffs. I'll think about it. I'll get back to you. Bye. Hey, Mark, it's Dan again. It's Sam again. Yeah, look, I'm working on the cover. It's coming along pretty good. I think you're going to like it. It's coming out. Still wondering about the cereal. Fruity Pebbles are good, but Cocoa Puffs make chocolate milk. I don't know. I'll let you know. Beep. And that's like another message. Hey, Mark, it's Sam again. Cover's almost finished. Almost done with it. Still haven't decided on the cereal. I don't know. I might go with Fruity Pebbles. I'll let you know. Last message. Hey, it's Sam again. I just finished the cover. It's on its way to you. And I hope you like it. Let me know. I went with the Cocoa Puffs. All right, see you later. So the editor opens up the cover art, and it's Wolverine sitting in a tree, buck naked, with a 7-foot long penis, like hanging down and touching the ground. And the editor, not only that, but it's done in like brown ink. And the editor called Sam. Hey, Sam, it's a beautiful cover, beautiful piece of work, but Wolverine is naked, and we can't, you've got a 7-foot long wolvedong hanging out, and we can't do that. The cover, Comics Code Authority. Not only that, it's done in like it looks brown in some places. It's brown ink in some places, and Sam goes, "Well, yes, I know. I mixed my own blood into the ink." He's like, I wanted it to be kind of special this time. He's like, don't worry, I can fix the penis. So that's a story I heard about Sam Keith. I don't know if it's true or not, but it made me laugh when I heard it. And it makes me want to hire Sam Keith. So it makes me want to be friends with Sam Keith, too. He sounds awesome. So that's a real artist. I think that's how real artists behave. And that was an ink. We're going to see if we can get him to do a Cyberfrog cover, maybe for Cyberfrog 3. I think maybe when we do Cyberfrog 3, Red Extermination, the cover will, one of the covers will be by Sam Keith. I think that's probably a good idea. Wolvedong. He better not do that to Cyberfrog. It's like, this is a great cover, Sam, but it's Cyberfrog's naked and he's got a long penis hanging down, and that's not what I can't publish that, Sam. I can't publish a cover with Cyberfrog's penis on it. I can't do that. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to. I spent a long time rendering the veins on it, but you're gonna have to white it out, Sam. No, don't do that to me, God. Just make it simple. I just need a nice Cyberfrog cover. All right, everyone. I love you all. We've been going now for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I hope you did back Cyberfrog Wrecked Planet. That would be helpful. Wow, you really did. Holy God almighty. I just refreshed it just on my own, and it just jumped from let me just show you. It's too late because I already refreshed it. But my God. We're right on the verge of 434. We were at like 433 and like $300 or something like that. And then boom, I refreshed it and it's 433, 900 now. Just $100 away from 434. And that's my favorite thing, is just to see these numbers change. Some of you are like, Ethan likes to see numbers change. He likes to see numbers go up on the scale. Yes. Well, not go up. I like to see them go down. They don't, though. Not very often. I do like to see an increase here. If this was my weight, I would like to see, if I weighed 433 pounds, 433.9 pounds, and then naturally it would flip over to 434 once I just bit a pie, and that would be great. Wow, look at this. 3,661 backers. You guys are absolutely the best. Thank you so much for supporting these books. Thank you for supporting me. Appreciate you. And I'm going to let you go. I will see you again tomorrow with another video. Have a great night.